Hi, I'm Kamali, taking you through the stories people are talking about and sharing around the world on NewsFeed today. An American-Israeli actor turns down an award from Israel and says she will not share a stage with Benjamin Netanyahu. We look at why Natalie Portman said thanks, but no thanks. We look at the billions and billions of tons of food humanity waste every year. Now look at this image. Is it real or fake, and does it matter? We look into fashion, influence and technology in 2018. And something's missing from this statue in the Turkish city of Hatay. Quality, photorealism, anatomically correct proportions? Nope. We'll reveal the answer at the end of the show. Now, top of our news feeds today is the discussion that's been caused by the actor Natalie Portman by her refusing to go to Israel to collect an award. Now, she said she doesn't want to share a stage with the Israeli Prime Minister, and her decision has caused plenty of comment online. Here's some of it. Well, let's talk now to our reporter, Abu Bakr Al-Shamahi. Now, Abu Bakr, as well as the effect this has had on social media, what do you think the effects on Netanyahu's government will be that A-listers like this are now criticising him and his policies?
So you've got to look at it this way. Natalie Portman is a proud Jewish person. She's a proud Israeli. And yet she's come out and said that she's not willing to go to Israel to accept this award because Netanyahu's there. Netanyahu's the Prime Minister of Israel. That highlights a disconnect between people like Natalie Portman, people who are in the Jewish diaspora. Often a lot of these people are, say, left-leaning liberals, especially in the United States among young American Jews, and the kind of the predominant political themes in Israel. So Netanyahu's a right-winger, his government is quite a nationalist government, and it represents a general political theme in Israel right now, which is of right-wing nationalism. And for many people in the diaspora, in the Jewish diaspora, that's not acceptable. They don't want to be part of that. They're on the left, whereas the government's on the right. And we're starting to see that disconnect emerge more and more. And Natalie Portman is now the kind of the biggest evidence of this, or the most famous face that's attached to a wider phenomenon that's occurring in America and in Europe and elsewhere where the Jewish diaspora are.
And what does that do? What does this kind of movement, this kind of social media fire do for the actual cause that Natalie Portman's talking about? And that's, of course, the cause of the people living in the occupied territories, the Palestinians.
Well, of course, like the fact that someone like Natalie Portman has come out and said this publicly and has refused to go to an award ceremony because of Netanyahu's presence, that's a big win for the pro-Palestinian movement. But you've also got to remember that Natalie Portman here said that this was nothing to do with the BDS movement, boycott, divestment, sanctions. She's not part of that. She doesn't want to boycott Israel as a nation. What she's opposed to is Netanyahu as a person, as a politician. So she's highlighting that it's about the politician and not about the nation. And she's not mentioned Palestine, for example, in that statement on Instagram. So you can see a bit of a difference there between actually this being a win for the pro-Palestinian movement and Natalie Portman coming out and saying, yes, she herself is pro-Palestinian.
Absolutely. Okay, I will back up. Thank you for now. All right, let's have a look at what else is trending on social media. Now, a baby is about to be born in the UK, and some parts of the internet and the news media are very excited. This baby can look forward to a life of privilege and prestige, that's guaranteed. The baby will be the third child of the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge. And here's one for babies across Turkey. 23 Nisan Kutlu Olsun. That's trending here in Turkey, and it's to celebrate children and National Sovereignty Day. So, have a good one. Now, he's won Oscars and is acclaimed across the globe, but now, judging by this video, Anthony Hopkins has lost his mind just a little bit. He tweeted this video with the caption, "This is what happens when you're all work and no play." The new season of Westworld began on Sunday night. Now, this man has been giving interviews after he tackled a gunman in a restaurant in Tennessee. His name is James Shaw Jr., and he managed to wrestle the gun away from the shooter, who was naked and was injured while doing so. 4 people were killed and 2 others were hurt. The gunman was reloading when he was tackled. He's escaped, and a manhunt is underway. Now, when was the last time you threw away some food that was perfectly edible? I hope you're struggling to remember. As you'll see from this next video, we as humans waste far too much food. So on #Earth Day, watch this. Now, we want to show you a side of the fashion industry that, until recently, I never knew existed. And as Kim Vanell explains, it's caused loads of debate online. Have a look.
The world of high fashion is well versed in the art of the touch-up, airbrushed to perfection. But now flawless has gone next level. Beauty that's so unreal, it's literally unreal. Take Shudu, the world's first digital supermodel. She's fronted for the likes of Fenty, that's Rihanna's makeup line. And while she's open about the fact that she is in fact a CGI-created piece of art, others are happier to blur the lines. Real-world posing with real-world people. She's carefully created a personality, releasing her own Spotify tracks. She's also an advocate for trans rights, Black Lives Matter and Black Girls Code. And with 1 million followers and counting, brands are lining up to book her. But this new generation of model is divisive, raising questions around authenticity, beauty standards, and even race. Some believe Shudu is stealing work from real models of colour and feeding a reductionist attitude toward black models, while others believe any representation is good. Their fans, for the most part, don't really seem to care if they look, act and engage like they're real. In a world where everything is on some level fake, does it even matter?
And there has been a development in the weirdness. Now, Lil Miquela, who you saw towards the end of Kim's piece there she is, had her Instagram account hacked by someone who goes by the handle Bermuda is Bay. Now, it then held Miquela's account hostage until it revealed what it really was. Miquela then had to post a confession, which you can read here, which she says, "I'm not a human being. She's a computer." And the story continues. Miquela's creators have also confessed and dropped her as a client. Now, all of this is playing out on Instagram, and I tell you, this will not be the last you hear of it on our newsfeed. All right, let's take you around the world for some other stories you need to hear this Monday. A Canadian has been killed in Peru. A man called Sebastian Woodruff had been in the country seeking traditional treatments for addiction. The woman who was treating him, Olivia Arvelo, was killed last week. Sebastian Woodruff was accused by the locals of her murder, so, in the police's words, the locals dispensed traditional justice. These are protests on the streets of Yerevan. The main opposition leader, Nikol Pashinyan, has been arrested and is still being held by police. Protests broke out about 10 days ago after the former president, Serge Sargsyan, was appointed prime minister. Now, he's accused of attempting to cling to power. He's been president for 10 years. All these videos are of a football riot in South Africa, have been shared online and viewed thousands of times. It happened after Johannesburg's Kaizer Chiefs lost to the Free State Stars in a cup match. 2 people have already been up in court over the violence. Now, $4.5 million, that's how much Michael Bloomberg, the former mayor of New York and the founder of the eponymous finance company, will give the United Nations out of his own considerably deep pockets. It's to pay for the US's climate change commitments. President Trump pulled the US out of the Paris Climate Change Agreement last year, saying it was a bad deal for America. Well, these are the church bells of Utrecht in the Netherlands playing the song Wake Me Up by Avicii. The DJ died over the weekend. He was 28. Avicii was a pioneer of the amazingly popular music style EDM. His real name was Tim Berling and he died in Oman. Police say there was no evidence of foul play and he had been suffering from health problems associated with alcoholism. Now, a British man who was held in Guantanamo Bay for 3 years and never charged with a crime has been asked to appear on the reality show Big Brother in the UK. I kid you not. Here's his response.
I have been a prisoner at Guantanamo under 24-hour surveillance. In addition to that, I have been had a police bug placed in my car for 2 years. I'm from the city of Birmingham, where cameras were placed by the police in predominantly Muslim areas in order to spy on the community.
Now, it was Barbara Bush's funeral at the weekend, and this image of President Obama making Melania Trump smile has got Twitter gossiping. First off, is it okay to make lols at a funeral? And second off, what did he say to make her smile like that? I don't think I've ever seen her smile so widely. Now, this next thing would make her smile. Someone has stolen a part of a sculpture in the Turkish city of Hatay, and as well as sparking a police investigation, it got social media talking and laughing too. Now, this is the statue at the center of the investigation. It's a man who should be holding a tray of künefe. That's a delicious Turkish dessert. And it got the internet asking 2 things. Why would someone make off with the künefe? And why is the statue so bad? Now, a sidebar, the local council has offered whoever stole the fake künefe a real tray of it if they bring it back. So that got us here thinking there are so many hilarious statues in Turkish cities. We thought we'd show you some. It is Monday after all. Everyone needs a good laugh. Now, these are all collected on this site, Spectacular Şehir Heykelleri. Sorry for mangling the Turkish, but it means spectacular city statues. As you can see, you had Nasreddin Hoxha in Konya, the Inegöl meatball in Bursa, the red elephant in Istanbul, the ear in Izmir, and we have no idea what's going on with this woman in Antalya. There was Superman, there's an aquanaut. Now, if you've got a favourite from your hometown, do let us know, because they are funny and it is the start of the week. Well, that's all from the NewsFeed team. Reach out to me with your questions, comments, complaints and suggestions. And don't forget those sculpture pictures. You'll find us 24/7 on Twitter, YouTube and Facebook. Follow, subscribe and add. See you again tomorrow.